people in America. I think how they were taken against their wills, put in the belly of ships, brought over here, cussed. Many of them died in the guts of those ships, thrown overboard. They were pulled from families over there. These are God's people. And I know that there's wicked and white races and wicked and black races and all that. I'm not justifying none of that stuff. I'm just saying God knows what happened to the black race. He knows how they wound up over here. And God is going to reimburse the black people for all their trouble and all their labor. Watch what I tell you.
Flee from the land of the north. He's in his hand, we go show. A father avenging his child. He finally ending it now. Judgment is right at the door. That hour approaching the hole. He finally taking her down. Free everybody that's bound. Back in the land we gon' roll. Hearts been renewed, we restore. Baby, stay down for your crown. Seek 'em while we may be found. Keep my commandments and live. Remember the king, what he did. Remission by shedding his blood. Keeping commandments is love. Holding my life back and forth. We keep that light on his road. That narrow the way that's a path. Only a few really have. Nation on nation is war. It ain't no rumor no more. Stand on his hill with your stand. Jerusalem, we by there. We are long way from Zion. We just wanna make it home. See your power raise this lion. We'll be kneeling at your throne. We are long way from Zion. We just wanna make it home. See your power raise this lion. We'll be kneeling at your throne. Jerusalem, free from the land of the north. He's in his hand, we gon' show. A father avenging his child. He finally ending it now. Judgment is right at the door. That hour approaching the hole. He finally taking her down. Free everybody that's bound. Back in the land we gon' roll. Hearts been renewed, we restore. Repent and stay down for your crown. Seek 'em while we may be found. Keep my commandments and live. Remember the king, what he did. Remission by shedding his blood. Keeping commandments is love. We are long way from Zion. We just wanna make it home. See your power raise this lion. We'll be kneeling at your throne. We are long way from Zion. We just wanna make it home. See your power raise this lion. We'll be kneeling at your throne. Jerusalem.
Good morning, good afternoon, Facebook Live, good afternoon, YouTube, we're Breaking Strongholds Ministries. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope your week has been a great week. I hope the Most High really truly bless you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and joy. I hope the Most High really truly have blessed you over and abundantly with peace, kindness, and protection. I hope the Most High truly have blessed your offsprings with wisdom and knowledge and understanding of His Word. My week has been an okay week. It's been an okay week, and I really can't complain too much about it. You know, life, it is what it is, and you just have to deal with it as it comes. But just being the law, just be doing the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So let us go ahead and get started this morning on Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. And Anani spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Anani, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no more. Thou shalt have no other Ananias before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah, thy Ananias, am a jealous Ananias, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah thy Ananias in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy Ananias. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughter, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore, if Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy fathers and thy mothers, that their days be long upon the land which Yahuwah thy Ananias giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors. And thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. O creators of the heavens and earth, of all radiance and vibration, soften the grounds of our beings and carve out a space with us, where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear fruits of our missions. Let each of our actions bear fruit according with our desire within your purpose for our life. Bestow us with the wisdom of produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled thread of destiny that binds us as we release others from the entanglement of the past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which distracts us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of present moments. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the creator, power, and fulfillment. As all is gathered and made whole once again, so let it be. Like I said, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Facebook Live, good afternoon. YouTube. With Breaking Strongholds Ministries. If you could turn to the book of Micah, I'm just gonna pick up where I left off that on Wednesday. Micah, turn to Micah chapter 5, verses 7 through 15. And the key verse, will be verse 7. The key verse will be verse 7. And it reads, and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as a dew from Yahuwah, as the shower upon the grass, that tarry not for man, nor waiteth for the Son of Man. And the remnant of Jacob is verse 8. I'm sorry, the key verse is verse 8. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flock of the sheep, who, if he goes through, both trotteth down and teareth in pieces. None can deliver. If I may give a title of the text today, Civil War will take place. The title of the text today, Civil War will take place. If I may give 2 words today, the 2 words are delivered, with the ED at the end, delivered. It means to free, it means to release, it means to transfer or transmit. It means pass from one to another. It means committed, yield, surrender, rescued, uttered, pronounced, save, rescue, set free, liberate, to set free, remove, save, preserve, hand over. That's what the word deliver means. I really like rescue, set free, liberate, and to be saved. The word, and that's a 12th century word. Deliver is a 12th century word. Remnant is a 13th century word. It means remaining part or quantity, that which is left or remains. Residue, that which is left after the separation. Removal or destruction of a part. A remnant, which is left after the separation. Like when he's separating the wheat from the tares. The wheat from the tares. But let me say this before I really get started. I should have did this before I went to scripture. Let me say this before I get started. If you're gonna vote for Kamala Harris because she's a dark black woman, she's really not black. She's Indian, from India. But if you're gonna vote for her because she's in a sorority with you and she's your sorrow, let me go to John chapter 3, verse 16. John chapter 3, verse 16. For it reads, that ain't it. Hold on for a second. Hold on. That ain't what I want. Let us go to Matthew chapter 5. I think this is it, but it's not what I want, but I'm going to read it. Okay. Matthew chapter 5, verse 34 through 37. If you're going to vote for somebody because they're in a sorority, or because they are Masons, or because of whatever they are, let me read you something. It says, but I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by earth, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth. Okay, let me read it over. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by the heavens, for it is God's throne, Ananias' throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou cannot make one hair white or black. But let your communications be nay, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever a man is more than these cometh of evil. Okay, so what this is basically saying, you should not be the Bible say you should not be in a sorority. the Bible says you should not be in a sorority, and that's what, when you're taking an oath, you're taking an oath to a sorority. And when you take an oath, you're committing to that oath, and that sorority is above the Creator. So you should not even be you should not be a part of a sorority. You should not be a part of the Masonic order. You should not be a part of any of those things, because it's not of Ananias. And if you're going to vote, for Kamala Harris because she's in your Greek fraternity, a sorority, you are going against Yahuwah's word. You're going against Yahuwah's word. Okay, let me read you something. Okay. Everything that the Democrat Party is voting for, or their agenda is. They're going for women's rights, they're going for abortions, they're going for puberty blockers. They want our young people to be able to have puberty blockers. Okay? Let me read you what a puberty blocker is. A puberty blockers are medicine used to postpone puberty in children. The most commonly used puberty blockers are, I don't know how to pronounce that word. It means it's releasing. Let me go to another one. Let me read these words. I'm not able to explain. But it says right here, a puberty blockers are medicines that prevent puberty from happening. They work by blocking the hormones, testosterone or estrogen, that leads to puberty related to changes in your body. This stops things like periods, breast growth, or voice deepening, or facial hair growth. So when you want to vote for the Democratic Party that is trying to have puberty blockers, you're voting for someone who wants medicine that prevents puberty from happening. They work by blocking the hormones, testosterone or the estrogen, that leads to puberty related changes in your body. This stops things like periods and breast growth, or voice deepening, or facial hair growth. And this woman, because you're going to vote for her because she's in a sorority of yours, or she's in the D9, which I think is gatekeepers, you're allowing your children to be put on puberty blockers. So if you're voting for the Democratic Party and you're doing it only because of the color of someone's skin, you're voting against everything that Yahuwah wants for humanity. You want to bring me here? You're voting for everything that is against Yahuwah. Okay? That's what it says in Matthew's about taking an oath. Okay? Let me go to Matthew chapter 22, verses 18. If you're going to vote for Donald Trump because of money, if you're going to vote for Donald Trump because of your taxes or whatever the case may be, let me tell you something. In actuality, when it comes down to it, says about voting. It's not actually talking about voting, but it's actually talking about what you should do for the government. It says in Matthew chapter 22, verse 18, it says, "But Jesus prescribed their wickedness and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto them, Who is this image and subscription? They said unto him, Caesar. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto Anani the things that are Anani. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. Okay, let us go to Matthew chapter 17, verse 24. 23 and 24. It says in 23, And they shall kill him in the third day, and he shall be raised again, and they were exceedingly sorry. Then it says, And when they were in Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, Doeth not your master pay taxes? Tribute is taxes. He said, Yes. And when he had come into the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, What thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the king of the earth take customs or tributes? Of their own children or strangers? And Peter said unto him, Of strangers? Yeshua said unto him, Then are the children free? Notwithstanding, lest we should offend them, go thou to the sea and cast an hook, and take up the fish that first cometh up. And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a penny of money. That take and give unto them for me and thee. So what Yeshua Yahusha is saying, the only thing that you really should be doing in this society is actually paying taxes. You should not be involved in the governmental system because of the simple fact of Ephesians 6 and 12. So if you're going to vote for Donald Trump because of what you think he can do for you financially, you're voting against your own means because you are allowing somebody else to rule over you. And if you're going to vote for Kamala Harris because she's a Sarah, or whatever however you want to pronounce it, you're doing it because you're going against Yahuwah's word because you have taken an oath and you was wrong for taking an oath. Because I used to be a Mason, but I'm no longer participating in that because of the oath I took. I'm not participating in being a Mason anymore. So we have to understand these things. You cannot be a child of the Most High, but you've taken an oath to an organization that goes against Yahuwah's word. So that's what I wanted to bring that out today, because the simple fact is, you got to understand what you took an oath to. Because W.D. Du Bois felt like the D9s should be the 10% that lead the 90%. He believed in the top 10% leading the 90%. And that's where all these sororities and all this other stuff come from. So if you are voting for someone because of whatever you think or your sorority, you are going against Yahuwah's word. Because you and I have taken an oath that we should have never took. And I had to denounce it in front of whoever listens to me. No, I do not participate in the Masonic order anymore. I used to, but I'm not any longer. If that's something you choose to do, that's something you choose to do. But I do not participate in it no more. But let us go back to Micah. Let us go back to Micah chapter 5, verses 7 through 15. And I'm going to say something to you too this morning when I was in prayer. I was listening to Amos, I was listening to Joel, and I listened to a little bit of Hosea yesterday. And I was kind of upset with Yahuwah because from reading those books and listening to those books, the only thing you hear is that Yahuwah is punishing the children of Israel. That's all you hear. But when I was in prayer this morning, he said the reason why I'm punishing you because the simple fact is everything you do, you go against my word. Everything that you do, you go against my word. If you're going to vote for the Kamala Harris, you're going against my word. If you're voting for Donald Trump, you're going against my word. So you're going to continue to be up under punishment because the simple fact is you're going against my word if you are a part of those organizations. Your only commitment that you need to be a part of is you serving me. That's the only oath and commitment that you really should truly be a part of. He said, the reason why you go through those things, because you're still worshiping the world. He said, nobody really truly sit down and study the word. I have friends that knock the word all the time, but they have never actually sat down and truly studied it. He said, so you're going to continue to go through it. That's why this one here is so important, because I mean, it just blew my mind. The Most High just speaking to me, and it's blowing my mind. I can get mad, but I can't get mad. Because if you can raise $1.5 million or $2 million for a candidate, why you can't do that for your community? If you can raise over $3 million in 3 days for a candidate to vote for puberty blockers for your children and your grandchildren, why you cannot bring that money into the community and help the community? So it says, and this is what he said, awaken, O sword, against my shepherds, against the man. No, chapter 8, verse 13. Hold on. Yeah, it's chapter 13, verse 8. It says, and this is what he was telling me this morning. He was like, the people still committing adultery. That's why I continue to bring punishment on the people. He said the people are committing adultery. They are continuing to sin. They are continuing to go through problems. That is why I'm continuing to bring judgment. That's why you see a young lady named Stacy Massey get shot and killed and shot in her head 3 times by a police officer. That's why you continue to go through it, because you have placed your oath and you have committed your life to a sorority or to a Masonic order and not to him, the Ruach HaKodesh. And it reads in 13:8, it says, and it shall come to pass in all the land, saith Yahuwah, 2 parts therein shall be killed, shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd shall be left therein. And see, that's what I was boggling about, but he showed me this morning the reason why that is because people continue to sin. People continue to vote against their own selves. Donald Trump wants to be like a Putin or Kim Jong-un or the guy Xi Jinping in China. He wants to be a dictator that's going to last for the rest of his life, and so that he can pass on his legacy to his children. That's what he wants to do. So if you voted for Donald Trump or you voted for Kamala Harris, you're still voting against your own selves. But let us go ahead and get started. Let us go back to Micah chapter 5. Because that was just my prayer this morning about. But I understand it. But at some point in time, us as a people, we got to come out of this illusion that we're in. We got to come out of this illusion that we're in. We got to come out of this. In order for us to be saved, we got to come out of this illusion. But in Micah, this part right here is talking about the remnant of the children of Israel and Jacob that's going to be able to save humanity. Save the remnant. Only a remnant is going to be able to fight and be able to be a part of the Civil War, because most people are going to perish. Most people are not going to be in existence, because Yahuwah is not going to use them. They're going to be faded away. They're going to be cut off because of their disobedience. Because they're not following law, statutes, and commandments, and they're not doing what Yahuwah say do. This same governmental system force you to take something that you didn't really want to take, and after they force you to take it, cancer went up 300%. Then after that, a sudden death syndrome came. Then if you look at it, over 70,000 women have had a hysterectomy since 2019. An extra 70,000 women have had a hysterectomy since 2019. Men's sperm cell counts are the average man from the age of probably 35 to 45 who took something that they really didn't want to take. Their sperm cell count is as of a man of the age of 90 years old. So you're voting for people who really don't have your interest at heart. But if you're going to vote for somebody because of their skin colors, I don't even know what to say to you. If you're going to vote for somebody because of your sorority, I don't even know what to say to you. It's sad. That means that you will put your own sorority or whatever it is over logic and policies. But it says in Micah chapter 5 verse 7, and we're talking right now about a remnant. A remnant is remaining part or qualities. That which is left or remains is the residue. That which is left after the separation, removal or destruction of a part. So when it reads, and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from Yahuwah, as the shower upon the grass, that tarry not for man, nor waiteth for the Son of Man. So we're basically just talking about a remnant, a small portion of people that is going to be used by Yahuwah. It's going to be around a large sum of people, like it says, in the midst of many people, as a dew from Yahuwah. So we're talking about a small group of people that's going to be around many nations of people that will be able to defend themselves against that nation of people. But I'm dealing with the first point that we're going to be talking about is remnant. A remnant. Let's go to Joel. Let us go to Joel chapter 2 verse 32. Chapter 2 verse 32. And when we're talking about remnant, we're just talking about a small group of people. Okay? Then it says in Joel chapter 2 verse 32, and it says, it shall come to pass that whensoever shall call on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. When you call on the name of, when the righteous call on the name of Yahuwah, they shall be delivered. in Mount Zion and Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Yahuwah has said, and in the remnant whom Yahuwah shall call. See, Yahuwah is going to call on a small group of people to be able to do his will. Everybody is not going to make it. Everybody ain't going to be able to do Yahuwah's will. Because the simple fact is, it says in Zechariah 13:8, 2/3 shall be cut off. 2/3 shall be cut off, and they're going to be cut off because of what they have done in the earth. They're going to be cut off because of the deeds that they have done. That's what's going to actually happen. They're going to perish because of the things that they did. Only a small portion of people are going to be surviving. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 8, 13 verse 9. Because we're talking about remnant. We're talking about a remnant. Okay? Remnant. We're talking about a remnant. Talking about a small portion of people. Those small portions of people are Yahuwah's special people. Then it reads in Zechariah 13:9, and I will bring the 2/3, I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahuwah is my Adonai. So when it says up here in verse 8, 2 parts therein shall be cut off. Then it says in verse 9, a third part. It's only, so you got 3. So 2/3 shall be cut off and killed. Only 1 will be left. That is the remnant. The remnant that will be left. The ones that who are doing Yahuwah's word. The one who is obeying the law, statutes, and commandments will only be saved. Only be protected, but they also will be doing Yahuwah's will. They will be doing Yahuwah's will. Everyone else will be slain and cut off and die. See, and also talk about in Gideon, in Judges, chapter 7, talking about Gideon in the 300s. Right? Then it says, I'm going to go to verse 2 in chapter 7 in Judges. It says, and Yahuwah said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, my own hands have saved me. Now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whoso is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000. See, Yahuwah is only going to use a group of people who has the heart for Yahuwah. And if you don't have the heart for Yahuwah, he's not going to use you. The first one he used was the people who was afraid and fearful. And see, when you're doing Yahuwah's word, when you're going into battle for Yahuwah, you cannot be afraid. You got to stand on his word, and you got to be able to want to do whatever he calls you to do. That's why they do not allow the Apocryphas to be in the Bible. That's why they don't allow you to read the book of Maccabees, because the Maccabees was standing on Yahuwah's word. And they was willing to give their life for Yahuwah. And basically giving your life for Yahuwah is giving your life up for the truth. Giving your life up for the truth. You're willing to stand on the truth. He said, I'm the way. Hold on. This is what he says in John 14. And it says, and Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So when we're talking about Yahuwah and talking about doing the will of the Father, we got to be able to stand on the truth. And we got to be able to give our life up for the truth. And if you're not willing to give your life up for the truth, that means that you're not willing to give your life up for Yahuwah. That's why we are so afraid. We are fearful people. We don't want to stand on Yahuwah's word. So when it says in Judges chapter 7 verse 3, now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 22,000. 22,000 people are there, remain 10,000. And Yahuwah said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Bring down unto the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I shall say unto thee, this shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, and the same shall not go. So he brought them down unto the water, and Yahuwah said unto Gideon, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shall thou set by himself. Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knees to drink. So the Most High was saying, everybody is not equipped to go and be a remnant for Yahuwah. You're not mentally equipped, and you're not physically equipped to fight in the battles of Yahuwah. See, a lot of us think that we're just going to go and do whatever, and because I say I'm saved and I love whoever, you're going to be in that remnant. No. You got to be willing to give your life on the line for Yahuwah. You got to be ready to die for the truth. You got to be a living sacrifice. That's why I say, allow your body to... Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of Yahuwah, that you present your body a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Ananiah, which is your reasonable service. We got to give this thing up daily to Yahuwah, and we got to put it in the face of the adversaries every day. In order for us to be a remnant. If we're not willing to sacrifice ourselves for the truth and stand on His word for the truth, we can't consider ourselves to be a part of the remnant. That's why in that Gideon story in chapter 7 of Judges, he was eliminating people who was not worthy to fight for him. And now you got to see if you are worthy to fight for Yahuwah during this time of civil war. Because it will be, did I give a title to take?
Mm-hmm. A civil war will take place.
Yeah, because you got to see, is you going to be qualified to be a part of the civil war? Or are you going to be a part of the 2/3 that just be taken out? Let us go back to Micah. Let's go back to Micah chapter 5, verse 8. Verse 8. Let's go back. Okay. It reads, chapter 5, verse 8, it says, "And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles." Understand who are the Gentiles. The Gentiles is every nation, every European nation. Every European nation. In the midst of many people. Among the Gentiles, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he go through, both trot it down and tear it in pieces, and none can deliver. That means that when we're getting ready to go through and have this war, this civil war, when the Most High give us these abilities, they're not going to be able to stop us from doing what we want to do, because the simple fact is He's going to give us special powers and abilities to be able to destroy. Right? Let me go to the book of Jasher. The book of Jasher, because a lot of us don't realize the power that we have. In the book of Jasher, chapter 54. And this was talking about Joseph's brothers, the tribe of Judah. Okay, and it says, and Joseph, and this is verse 70, this says in 69 through 73. "And Joseph heard all their actions and said unto them, Why do you look here and there? I am Joseph whom you sold to..." Hold on, let me go back. Because we have to understand the strength. We have to understand the strength that Yahuwah gave the children of Israel. Because we are a very strong group of people, but we don't realize it. If we look at all the athletes that is among the world, that's great athletes, we are the ones that are doing the best. We are the best fighters, we're the best basketball, football, actresses, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not being biased, that's just what it is. It's just that we haven't woke up to reality. We created and invented most things here in the United States. But we don't walk and act in that mentality. We don't have the mentality that I am a creation from Yahuwah. I'm trying to find something. Okay, here it says in verse chapter 54. Then it says, "And Joseph saw the act of Judah, and he was very much afraid." Let me go back up to verse 28. "And when Judah heard these things, he was exceedingly angry, and his anger burned within him. And there was before him in that place a stone, the weight of which was about 400 shekels. And Judah's anger was kindled, and he took the stone in one hand and cast it to the heavens, and caused it to be left, and caught it in his left hand. And he placed it afterwards under his legs, and he sat upon it with all his strength, and the stone was turned into dust from the force of Judah. And Joseph saw the act of Judah, and he was very afraid, but he commanded Manasseh his son, and he also with another stone like unto the act of Judah. And Judah said unto his brothers, Let not any of you say this man is an Egyptian, but this is his doing this, but by his doing this thing, he is of our fathers' families. And Joseph said, not to you only is strength given, for we are also powerful men. And why will you boast over us all? And Judah said unto Joseph, send, I pray thee, our brother, and ruin not thy country this day. And Judah spoke to his brother Naphtali and said unto him, make haste, go now and number all the streets of Egypt, and come and tell me. And Simeon said unto him, let not this thing be a trouble to thee. Now I will go to the mount and take up one large stone from the mount, and will level it at every one in Egypt, and kill all that are in it. See, one thing we have to realize is that we are some powerful people. We are some powerful people, and it didn't. In the 12 tribes, the 12 brothers or the 11 brothers had the abilities to kill or delete everyone in Egypt if they wanted to, but they chose not to use their powers to do it. So when the Most High is going to get ready to use his people, he's only going to need a remnant to use it. And the remnant is going to be the people that love and trust and believe in Yahuwah. He's the one who's going to give those powers to them to be able to do his will. Okay? So it says in verse 9 in Micah, listen, because you just heard what Judah said he can do. He can destroy Egypt with his own hands, right? It says, thy hand shall be lifted up upon thy adversaries, thy enemies. Thy adversaries and all thy enemies shall be cut off. See, the Most High is going to use us in the midst of this civil war to cut off the enemies because of how they have mistreated us from the very beginning. And that's something we got to truly understand. Yahuwah is going to use us to do his work, his will. It's just we have to come into the consciousness of, am I righteousness or am I wickedness? Am I going to be used by Yahuwah to do his will, or am I not going to be used by Yahuwah to do his will? Because Yahuwah is not going to use the wicked to do his will. He's only going to use the righteous. And see, that's something that you got to understand. Yahuwah is going to use a remnant for the war. That's why Gideon in the 300s is important, because he only used 300 out of 22,000 or 32,000. He only used 300 out of 32,000. Now you got to sit down and evaluate yourself and say, am I going to be a part of that remnant to do his will? Am I going to be a part of that force? Am I righteous? Am I wicked? Am I obeying the law, statutes, and commandments? Or am I not obeying the law, statutes, and commandments? That's what you got to understand. Because it's going to be something that's going to take place. Okay, let me read you something. I pulled up something this morning, right? On Wikipedia. I don't really use Wikipedia, but I'm going to use it now. Wikipedia. List of unarmed African Americans killed by law enforcement officers in the United States. And it's been going on since 1870. On March 31st, 1870, Henry Truman, 26 years old, lived in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Listen to what happened. Officer John Whiteside cast Truman into an alley after a shoplifting. When Truman asked the officer what he did wrong, Whiteside shot him. Whiteside was found guilty of manslaughter. Okay? The officer shot and killed a man just because he thought the man was shoplifting. This was in 1870. Okay, let me go down a little bit. In May 7, 1966, Leonard Detweiler, Los Angeles, California. Detweiler was speeding as he drove to the hospital with his wife, who was in labor. An officer shot Detweiler, claiming the vehicle had lurched forward. A coroner jury later ruled the shooting was an accidental homicide. Just because this man was racing to take his wife to the hospital because she was in labor, this police officer felt like he had a right to go shoot and kill this man because he said the man launched at him. That was in May 7, 1966. Most shootings started to increase after 1966. Okay? Most police shootings started to increase after 1966. But we also got to remember Blood Summer. Blood Summer is a period of 10 years from 1929 to 1939 where they did major lynchings in the United States. That's why they call it Blood Summer. They did major lynchings in the United States within the black or Hebrew community. They were just going around lynching and destroying black communities because they was thriving and they was prospering at that time. So if you ever look up Blood Summer, you'll see that it was a 10-year time period where they just was going out lynching and destroying black communities over lies. This is the reason why the Most High is going to do what he want to do. Because they got to pay for the things that they have done wrong. Okay, let's go down. 1967, July 15. William Furr, 25 years old in Newark, New Jersey. Police shot Furr as he fled a looted liquor store. Just because the man was running out of a looted liquor store with some liquor, the police shot the man and killed him in the back. I can go on. I mean, this list is very, very long. I mean, man, it's a long list. August 24th, 1980, William Green, 17 years old in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. During a traffic stop, a police officer, John Ziegler, shot and killed Green. Ziegler stated he was hitting Green with his gun when it went off. Ziegler was charged with murder but was acquitted. We got to understand that this police brutality has been going on for a long period of time. And with this Stacy Massey shooting, and then when this police officer just shot and killed a 4-year-old child in the car. Then he turned around and they shot a 15-year-old kid. They shot, I don't know how old he was. He was about 15, he was between the age of 15 and 25, I say. They shot him 21 times because of whatever they thought. Whatever the police thought, this guy was walking home at night and he had a pellet gun. And when he saw the police officers coming, he threw the pellet gun away. The police officer shot him 5 times. When he laid on his back, they shot him another 15 times. And this has been recently, besides the Stacy Massey killing. Huh? The Sonya Massey. Sandra Massey, I'm sorry. But we just got to look back in the last period of time. They have been unjustifiably deleting us for no apparent reason. That's why the Most High said, I can't use the fearful because they want to accomplish my mission. I can't use those who's not tactically trained for the mission because they won't be able to know how to fight. So you really truly got to understand it's going to be a civil war. Whether it's from the Democrats or the Republicans, whatever the situation may be, it's going to be it. And it's going to be because of what Yahuwah is going to do in this land because of what these people have been doing for over 300 to 400 years. Let us go to Psalms 106. You mean to tell me you just wanted to shoot a lady in the head because the simple fact is she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus? Psalms 106 and 26. And see, I was at work one day and this guy came messing with me because I was having a conversation with another guy. I told him, I said, Satan, get behind me. That dude ran into the office and tried to get me fired. Psalms 106 and 26 says, therefore he lifted up his hand against them to overthrow them in the wilderness. So the Most High is he's gonna cause havoc. He's gonna cause problems because he wanna overthrow the wickedness on the earth. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 11, verse 14. And see, a lot of us, I was listening to people on TikTok, right? And they said, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this, and you hear people say that all the time when something like that happens. But I'm saying to myself, men are scared to get a gun because they're afraid of what their wife gonna say. So most men don't have a weapon. Then if you do have a weapon, most men who do have a weapon don't have no more than 100 rounds in their house. Then if you do have a weapon and you have 100 rounds, most men do not even train with the weapon, at least, or shoot their weapons once every other month. So if you have a weapon and you only have 100 rounds and you only shoot your weapon every 3 months, how can you say you're prepared for anything? You're not. Even if Christ come today, you're not spiritually prepared because the simple fact is, how often do you sit down and read and study the Word? So, when we're trying to do the will of the Father, a lot of us are not even prepared to do the will of the Father. That's why it's only going to be a remnant, because that remnant is only the ones that are prepared, truly prepared for it. They're physically and mentally prepared for whatever is about to happen on the earth. Isaiah 11 and 14, it says, but they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines. Listen to that. Let me go to verse 13. It says, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly. They is Ephraim and Judah. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. They shall spoil them of the east together, and they shall lay their hands upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. See, the Bible, the Biblio is very violent. And the Most High is violent. He shows violence in the book, because of the fact is, he's trying to show you that he's an Anani that don't play. And if you're thinking that Anani is a passive Anani, you got another thing coming. See, it says again, but they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hands upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. That's violence. That's war. The remnant of the children of Israel and Judah is going to participate in war. And see, I was going to this. I still go. I haven't went in a while, but I used to go to this guy. We used to train together. And I used to tell him all the time, his job was to help people for the upcoming events. That's my job right now, is to help people be equipped for the upcoming events that's going to take place in the earth. Where you're physically preparing or spiritually preparing for the events on the earth. That is my job. Whether you like it or not, that's my job. Let us go to Luke 19. 19 and 27. I'm going to go to verse 26 first. I say unto you that unto everyone which has shall be given, and from him that has not, even that has, shall be taken away from him. But those my enemies which would not that I shall reign over them shall bring hither, and I shall slay them before me. Listen to verse 26 again. For I say unto you that unto everyone which has shall be given, and from him that has not, even that he has, shall be taken away from him. But those my enemies, which would not that I shall reign over them, bring hither, and slay them before me. So the Most High is saying is, I'm going to be doing some deleting along the way, because you decided not to allow me to rule over you. And that's something we truly got to understand. If you're not allowing the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, or the truth to rule over you, he's going to slay you. He can't use you because you are a disobedient child. Let us go to Revelation. I'm going to give you one more. Let us go to Revelations chapter 5, verse 5. I want you to understand the power of the tribe of Judah. The power of the tribe of Judah. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. That is the strength and the power of Judah, or Yehudah. They have that much power, that spiritual power, to open up the 7 seals. See, who you call Jesus or Yahshua the HaMashiach or Yahusha, he came out of the tribe of Judah. Let us go back to Micah chapter 5, verse 10. Because what he's going to do is he's going to use the small remnant of Judah to bring havoc on the people. And this is Micah chapter 5, verse 10 through 14. These are the results of the war, that what we're going to do, or what the children of Israel are going to do to the people. From 10 to 14, this is what's going to happen. Okay? And it shall come to pass in that day, meaning the last days, saith Yahuwah, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee. I will destroy thy chariots. I will cut off the cities of thy land. I will throw down all thy strongholds. That's what it says. I will cut off witchcraft out of thy hands, because we have been up under witchcraft. Witchcraft is witchcraft is manipulation of the mind. And we have been manipulated on so many different levels. Witchcraft is manipulation. This is what it says again. I will cut off witchcraft out of thy hands, and thou shalt have no more smooth sayers. Because that's all it is. That's all witchcraft is. It's somebody's telling you some smooth saying in your mind. That is considered to be witchcraft. Thy graven image also will I cut off, and thy standing image out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the works of thy hands. And see, I was telling Sharon the other day, we was talking, and the reason why people don't really want to stand up for the truth is because they don't want to lose their physical possessions that they have made with their hands. It's, people say, well, I don't want to give up my house, or I don't want to give up my car, I don't want to give up this, and I don't want to give up that. People do not want to give up the things that they have worked with their hands for. Not realizing if they just serve Yahuwah, He will give it back to you if He wants you to have it. But because we're so brainwashed, we don't want to give up the things that we have made with our hands. People will delete you for the things that they work for with their hands. But when it comes down to their protection and their healing and their deliverance, they don't want to give it up. They'd rather suffer. And that is the reason why we are suffering today, because we have made a choice to suffer for the material possessions of this world and not just serve Yahuwah. That's the reason why we suffer. That's why we go through heartache. It's because we made a choice. The choice is, I would rather suffer and have these material possessions than to give up the material possessions and serve Yahuwah. Then it says, I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities. So the Most High is going to use the remnant of the children of Israel and Judah. He's going to use us to destroy the horses, all military might, which is the horses and the chariot. He's going to use us to destroy the cities and throw down the strongholds. He's going to use us to destroy witchcrafts and everything about smooth sayers. He's going to use us to destroy graven images and everything that is worshipped by hand. And He's going to use us to destroy cities, because everything that we worship, He got to destroy. Because that's what got us into the bond, the slavery that we're in, the conditions that we're in, because we chose to worship those things. Some people say, if a man said, I give you $1 million to go somewhere else, go to another country, so many people would not take that $1 million because they are so afraid to leave this system. In verse 15 it says, I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathens. such as they have not heard. See, that's what we got to look at. Everything that's taking place now, the punishment and the vengeance that's getting ready to happen on the earth today, it's going to happen because Yahuwah's anger and vengeance. Because this list of the people who've been killed by, black people that have been killed by unarmed, that was killed by officers, the list is long. And when I say the list is long, the list is long, man. I mean, August 27, 1994, Edward Mullet, 25 years old, of Phoenix, Arizona. Edward, who had both legs, listen to this one. Edward Mullet, 25 years old, Phoenix, Arizona. Edward, who had both legs amputated, died after Phoenix police officers sprayed pepper spray and placed in a chokehold. In 1998, Mullet family received $45 million in a civil suit against the city. But why would you want to spray pepper spray on a double amputee leg person, a person who don't have no leg? Why you want to spray paint or pepper spray him and put him in a chokehold? Listen to that logic. I might get some phone calls tonight at 12 o'clock. But listen to the logic. A police officer pepper sprayed a man who didn't have no legs and then put him in a chokehold. This man don't have no legs. Yes, I do be getting phone calls at night.
From strollers.
Huh?
From who? Trollers.
From trollers or strangers or whoever it is. Yes, I get them at night. But I want us to understand something. Whatever takes place is Yahuwah's vengeance on the wicked. Yahuwah's vengeance on the wicked. Whatever takes place is going to be Yahuwah's vengeance on the wicked because of what they have done. Do you know that they used to make shoes out of our skin? You think Yahuwah don't forgot all that? So, let us go to Numbers 31. That's awful, man. And then this officer just gonna go in this lady's house and shoot her, delete her, just because she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Then another officer shot a 4-year-old kid and deleted that person. Then the list could keep going on and on and on and on and on. And you think Yahuwah is not tired of it? You think that the universe is not tired of this? You think other nations don't see what's happening? But you have your audacity to want to go vote for somebody who's giving puberty blockers, or you want to vote for somebody who's doing all this other stuff to you, Agenda 2025? Man, you crazy. Numbers chapter 31, verse 2 and 3, it says, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterwards shall thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge Yahuwah of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to war. Listen to that. It's only going to be a remnant, because that's all Yahuwah going to need. Because he's going to empower those people to be able to have some superpowers that others don't have. Let us go to Psalms 149. Verse 7. It says, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and to punishment upon the people, to blind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of irons, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honors all of his saints. Praise Yahuwah. Last one, 2 Thessalonians. One and 8. It says, in the flaming fire take vengeance on them that know not Yahuwah, and that obey not the gospel of Yahuwah, our Master, Yahshua the HaMashiach, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of Yahuwah and from the glory of his powers. Let me read you something. Coming out of the book of remembrance. Coming out of the book of remembrance, page 240. And it's talking about and at the sixth station, which is the final judgment, where determinations are made, light will come to those who sit at the judgment bar with shining clarity, and the light will be more than the spirit of Yahuwah. It will be like the light. It will be the light of his very presence. And how the determination will be made is after this manner. And light will be shed upon the truth. That's what we got to fight for, the truth. Of what a person has done with their gift of life, so that the truth can be measured. See, the Most High is going to judge you on your gift that he has given you. And that's something that we got to understand. Let me read it over. How the determination will be made is after this manner. And light will be shed upon the truth of what a person has done with their gift of life, so that the truth can be measured. What a person has made out of themselves by their choices, and that which they have allowed Jesus to do in his redeeming work. Let me read that over. And that which they have allowed Jesus or Yahshua to do in his redeeming work. And what you have done with your gift of life will already have been accomplished in the fullness of it. And your response to the truth that is before you, brought about by the light of the Holy Great One, will be that which will determine the conditions of your eternal home in the midst of all creation. What it's saying is, whatever your gift is, and if you're not using your gift, it will be measured to your eternal home. Let me read it over. What you have done with your gift of life will already have been accomplished in the fullness of it. And your response to the truth that is before you, brought about by the light of the Holy Great One, will be that which will determine the conditions of your eternal home in the midst of all creations. And repentance will also have run its course, and that which a person has decided to become will be forever what they are. If you want to continue to be righteous, if you want to continue to be wicked, if you want to be proud and stand on the truth, you'll be that. If you want to be weak and scary, you'll be that. And the use they have made with Moses the Lamb, or Jesus the Lamb, or Yahuwah the Lamb, and that which he created and gave life to, will be central. Let me read it over. And the use they have made of Yeshua, the Lamb, and that which he created and gave life to will be central to how they arrive at who they are. And I certainly hope in my deepest soul that Yahuwah and the man that will become and the man that became for us will be happy at last. So what is it basically saying is, if Yahuwah has given you a gift and you're not using it, you're gonna be punished for not using your gift. And however you are when you pass away and perish, that's gonna give you your destination of life. So if you're not using your skills and your abilities to free your people and help your people, your judgment is going to be that. So Father, as we come to you today, we thank you, we bless you, we praise you, we give you all the honor and the glory. Abba, we thank you for everything you have done, what you continue to do. Abba, we just ask that you continue to be with us and lead us and guide us. But also, Father, help the remnant to be able to stand strong in your word, because we know that you're going to test us and take us through the fire and refine us. We just ask that you just continue to strengthen us in those moments so that we can continue to do your will, because we know that it's going to be a civil war. We just ask that you continue to help the remnant and direct the remnant and deliver the remnant from the woes that happen on the earth, but strengthen them in their time in need. And in all these things we pray. We ask that you continue to let us hear the way you want us to hear, see the way you want us to see, and speak the way you want us to speak. In Yahuwah's name we pray. So let it be. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Only a few is gonna make it out. Zion, only you remnant, 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 only you remnant. When is my people gonna learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take the restrictions confirmed. It's time for my people return. Only you remnant, 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 only you remnant. When my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take the restrictions confirmed. It's time for my people return. Only you remnant. We at the end and we feeling it. We the sand of the sea, but a remnant. Should return to the word when they hearing it. We the sons of Israel. Our word will never fail. Baptized in the Jacob's well. Holy Spirit ain't playing for real. Will you get protected? He's sending them plagues. I'm trying to make sure that he's seeing red. All in my life, all in my head, all in my walk, all in my legs. You don't got that blood, you walking dead. Walk as he walk, we should live what it said. Only your remedy gonna be spared. Only your remedy gonna be spared. Abba go get us out of these countries. Abba said, let me see who really want me. Forsaking our houses, forsaking our money. We got that signal from heaven, he coming. Drinking his cup, nobody running. Flesh getting weak, but the spirit is gunning. We see the prophecy, we know he coming. We see the prophecy, we know he coming. But it's only you remnant, 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 only you remnant. When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take the scriptures confirmed. It's time for my people return. Only you remnant, 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 only you remnant. When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take the scriptures confirmed. It's time for my people return.